Well, hello, Yellow Army, and welcome back to official TUFC TV, where I'm delighted to be announcing the news of our latest addition to Talk United squad for next season. Of course, it's a familiar face. You'll be absolutely delighted to see that he's back. I am, of course, talking about Mr. Lewis Collins. Lewis, it's great to have you back at Plainmoor. It feels like you were almost never away.
No, 100%. It's so nice to be back as well. I think I came into this summer not knowing my plans, of course, being out of deal at Newport. And, well, obviously Gaffer came to me with an option and I couldn't turn it down, really. It was just one of them things. I loved it so much last season. I'm just so excited to come back.
There's one thing perhaps us as supporters don't often sort of think about is that actually it must be a very nervous time when you're footballing and you don't know where you're going to be. So it must be good to get that sorted. But I'm sure you have plenty of options out there. The Yellow Army have been quite vocal in their support of you on social media, saying that it'd be great to have you back. So what ultimately made you to want to stay at Plainmoor then?
I think the biggest thing for me was the way that we finished the season last year, knowing where we are as a club, and then obviously seeing all the rest of the boys get back on board as well. Granted, I loved playing at Plainmoor every week. It was so fun. Like, for me as a footballer, I couldn't have asked for anything more. But seeing all the boys come back and knowing the way we finished last season, it was almost like, well, if we've gone down the league, granted, but if I'm coming back into near on the same squads, then this season could be fantastic. So everything about it, like, obviously, like I said, knowing Downsy and the Gaffer like I do now, it was realistically a no-brainer, to be fair.
It must have been good for you as well, Lewis, because obviously in and out of in and around the first team squad at Newport, but chopping and changing and that, whether you were in the team or not. But you came in at Plainmoor, and obviously you were an integral part of that side that did so well at the end of the last season. That must have been good for you as a footballer as well.
Yeah, no, of course, at Newport I never had realistically what I needed, and I don't think the club got out of me what they needed, and it was a mutual thing, really. And at the end of the day, this is now my first time away from the club, but coming to Torquay was probably, other than probably playing at Wembley, it was probably the best thing in my career. Like, coming to Torquay, I loved every single minute of it. Granted, was a bit unlucky with a few injuries and that, and I wish I had played a few more games, but it was what it was. I think myself, the Gaffer, the club, I think we all got out of it what we wanted to in the end, except for obviously leaving it that one game too late and getting relegated. If we won one game more, who knows, we probably would have stayed up, but it was what it was. Like, I think coming to Torquay was a massive thing for me, especially after being, like you said, a regular first team player, but not a regular starter. It was nice to just have that game after game after game and get that confidence going and realistically feel myself a little bit and just get into it.
And knowing that the Gaffer and Downsy and the fans and your teammates all had faith in you and all that, and they all wanted you here, I guess that was a big pull as well.
No, of course, it does you the good. As a footballer, that's all you need that support around you, and that's all I got at the end of last season from everyone and anyone at the club. Like, I left last season and that I couldn't have said a bad word about the club, even if I didn't come back. Like, I had nothing bad to say. Like, everything was just perfect for me for the whole 3-4 months I was there.
Now, I'm sure you remain an ambitious footballer. You're a young guy. And so do you feel that you can achieve those ambitions here at Plainmoor?
100%. I don't think I would have come back if I didn't have the belief that we would go straight back up. I think if I didn't think like there was something here for me or for the club, I wouldn't have come back. And I really do have the mindset now of, like I said, seeing all the boys have come back and we've got near on the same squads, still got Gaffer and Downsy, like, we've still got all the staff. Like, I look at it now and I just think this is our season after, what's the word to use? After not so nice season last year, getting relegated, it's our bounce back now, and I think we've got everything and anything to do it. So I think we bounce straight back up into the National League, and we do, I think.
Sounds very much a case of unfinished business, Lewis.
No, 100%. I think the note we left it on last year was not the note we wanted to leave it on at all. And after the season had finished, I think you could see that in the dressing room. it was, after last game, it was a tough place to be, because I don't think anyone knew really what to do. It was just, like I said, one more game maybe and we stay up, or maybe we don't draw at who was it away? Second last game. Altrincham, yeah. We don't draw at Altrincham, we stay up. Like, it's one of them. It was just a tough position to be in for all of us, and especially as a footballer, because it's on you. You can't blame anyone else. So I think the fact of having the same squad come back as well makes it that much better, because we've all got something to redeem ourselves for.
Now, you mentioned that obviously that it's a big boost to see the other lads, signing on. We're also looking at the likes of Kev Dawson and Jack Stobb, who are also loan players like yourself, and what a boost it's been seeing them sign up as well. So it must speak volumes on the changing room and all that, because it's been very easy for some of those players to look elsewhere, having gone down to National League South. So just tell us a little bit about what that spirit in that dressing room is like.
It was great, and I mean, like, we were rock bottom when we started winning. Like, we were 23rd probably when we started winning properly, and we got a few wins under our belt, and all of a sudden it was like that. Everyone was like, right, we can do this, and it was a real good place to be in, because the belief was there. Like, no matter who we played, granted we didn't have a great time at Chesterfield, but to give it to Chesterfield, they were a very, very good team, and that day we didn't turn up. They probably played the best they had all season, and we got turned over. But other than that game, we went into every single game like we're winning this. There's no doubt in our mind, no matter where you are in the league. Like Wrexham last game of the season, we were like, we beat these. No, like, yeah, they broke the records and everything like that. We beat these. Granted, we didn't. We should have won in the end. But it was, I think, coming from that changing room and knowing I'm going back into that changing room, for me, is massive, because of where it's a place you want to be. And I do wish sometimes fans could see inside the changing room, because it is one of them, like, when we were losing, it was one of the most horrible places to be. Like, everyone's chins were on the floor. It wasn't a nice place to be at all. But then as soon as we got that confidence into us, it was one of the best places to be. It's just the highs and lows of football, but we all did it together. It wasn't like there was one person that was horrible. It was like we were doing it as a team, and we were all doing it together, which for me is, well, like I said, it's so nice to come back to.
It's strange, isn't it? Because obviously the natural reaction to a team getting relegated is there's a lot of negative vibes and that, but nothing, what you're telling us is nothing could be further from the truth. And obviously a bouncing Plainmoor, remember what it was like for the games against Eastleigh and York, and the positive mood that the Yellow Army brought from the terraces and gave to you players. And, nothing could be further from the truth. It's a real positive vibe going around the club at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, no, of course. And it's so easy for a club that's relegated for everyone just to be like, oh, right, well, relegated, and then we go into the next season and it's still doom and gloom. But I think we gave the fans enough at the end of the season to keep their faith, in order for them to still be with us and be like, do you know what, next season could be a real, real good one. And I think we gave them enough. And as players, we can't fault the fans enough for sticking by us through it all, because at the end of the day, towards the end of the season, like I said, when we were like 23rd before we started winning, it was so easy for everyone to not come watch the games and everything. But they did. They carried on coming, and I felt like the numbers got even bigger. And it was like, it's what we needed. Like, my favourite was Maidenhead, the one just outside London, away. Yeah, and the fans. And honest, it was like it was a home game. It was crazy, and it was just so enjoyable as a player, because you really, really felt that buzz. And especially when the pitch is slanted like that, and you got the fans at the top singing for the whole game, and all you could see is them. The atmosphere was brilliant, and it was in on Boreham Wood as well. Boreham Wood, it felt like we were a home game as well. It was like, coming back to it with fans like it is, for me, is class. Can't wait to see him again.
And the loan spell that you had at Plainmoor, it's easy to forget actually that this was a massive time in your life personally, isn't it? Actually, to come away from Newport for the first real time, and actually to experience, football away from home. Tell us a bit about that. That was a big deal for you, wasn't it?
No, of course, it was my first time away from home. But again, the club looked after me perfectly. and they gave me and did everything I needed them to do. Like, they made me really feel like Torquay was a second home. I went down and it was perfect. Like, I was fortunate enough that my missus got a house down in Plymouth, so she came down quite often. So it was nice because I saw her a lot. And then my parents are only 2 hours away still. Like, it's still not exactly a far drive home. Like, it's not like I've moved to the other end of the earth. It was, but like I said, like, I lived with Stobbsy and he was spot on. He was brilliant. I lived with Dylan Silva first, and he was great as well, obviously, before he went back. And then I was with Stobbsy and he was spot on. Like, what a great guy. And obviously, knowing he was coming back was a big thing as well. Like, but it was my first time away from home, and yeah, like, it could have been so difficult, but the club made it unbelievable for me, to be fair. And that's what it's not realistically a no-brainer to come back, because I loved it down there.
Well, the way you're talking, Lewis, is getting us even more excited about the 2023-24 campaign. Obviously, promotion is very much the aim, and I'm sure that you feel the same. So it's important that we start like we finished. And obviously, I guess then it's good knowing that you've got somebody in the Gaffer and Downsy that you know how they work, you know what it's expected, and of course, they've got the track record having won that division before.
Yeah, no, of course. And this thing, I mean, Gaffer and Downsy there is a massive boost. Like, there's not many managers and assistants that you get like them two who work so well together, and they give you everything you need on a game day. Like, they've obviously, like you said, they've won this league before, they've done it, they know how to do it. So going into it with the squad we got, with their knowledge and their understanding of it, I think there's no complaints. Like, I think we go into it. Obviously, everyone got to be ready and right to start the season in the first place, and that'll be done in pre-season, and we'll make sure that we're ready. But other than that, I think we've got every utility we need to go and win this league and go straight back up.
Well, we know that you're on holiday at the moment, Lewis, and it speaks volumes that you've joined us there. We really do appreciate that. Just before you go, though, have you got a message for the Yellow Army ahead of pre-season?
Just saying, I hope we get your support like we did last season. I hope you stick by us no matter what happens. We will give you everything we've got. Every game day, we will give 100% no matter what. And we play for you because it's your club just as much as it's ours. We will play for you no matter what. And when times are bad, like last season, you stuck by us, and we hope you could do that again. But we're not going to give you a bad spell this season. We're just going to romp this league and we're going to win it.
Lewis, I don't think anyone could have said it any better. And I really do appreciate you coming on board today and talking to us all. And we look forward to seeing you in pre-season.
Perfect. Cheers, Dom.